Welcome, guys, to Back the Pack. This is the Shami final special. That's it, bro.
Shami final. What a name.
This is Asim, as always, and Umar beside me. So we thought we'd do a little roundup of the semi-final games. Regardless of Pakistani, involvement. But no, we had to be back. We had to keep with you guys, and to be honest, couple of good games.
Very good games. I think the India-New Zealand game was probably not as exciting as the South Africa-Australia game, but a good toss for India to win. And then Rohit Sharma kick-started the the carnage that
As has become accustomed to
it was actually they were going at 10 and over.
Yeah.
And I was watching thinking, wow, you know what, like, let's put all the toss controversies and all this stuff that was going on in the pitches and that they're using
Bionic Bulls, bro.
Huh?
Bionic Bulls.
Yeah. Well, I heard another one that what's his name, Mohammed Shami had his own ball in his pocket and he kept using that one.
Yeah, of course, bro.
I'm like, this is just getting silly. But yeah, no, I mean, credit to India because you know what, they played outstanding. Rohit Sharma, like I said, kick-started it off. He was just phenomenal. And then he got out to a really good ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I say good ball, sorry. It was I suppose so. It was a slower ball. But the catch, Williamson's catch, it was outstanding.
But it's the intent, and Rohit just comes in. I mean, it's exactly what you want. It reminds you of the old, the Sri Lanka '96 ones where they come in just banging, and just But then Kohli's
50th 100.
That's it, record making.
That was brilliant.
Well, he couldn't have done it in a for him at least better environment.
Well, he dedicated that to David Beckham, right?
Dawood Bhai, in the crowd.
Dawood Bhai.
Is it? And that's it. I mean, he's now the world record holder for hundreds, and I mean, I think the scary thing is to think where is he going to end? Because he's still going.
Well, remember when he got the 100, we were like on FaceTime.
Yeah.
And I was like, awesome, 50 hundreds.
It's something, isn't it?
Do you understand this? 50 hundred is unheard of.
Because obviously you got Sachin on 49, but 49, then who's before, like below that? There's a gap though, isn't it?
Say Quinton de Kock, maybe.
This is the thing. But obviously, even the Koch, I think,
he's retired now.
He's retired.
He's done.
So it's only Kohli who's going to keep building on these figures.
Yeah, I mean, Babar is way behind. I think he's in his, 20s. So there's still a long way to go. But mind you, the other problem is that I'm sure you guys sort of agree to this, that we don't play enough one-day cricket, and I mean that's another subject. We'll get onto that a bit later on the show. But no, Kohli outstanding, and to be fair, to do it at the Wankhede Stadium, Sachin, his idol, that he said, his wife Anushka, and there was a few other.
Rajnikant, Thalaiwa.
Was he there?
Yeah.
Was he there? Oh, okay, I didn't see him.
So no, it was nice. It was nice.
Saw a few other Bollywood actors, and it's nice that he done it there. And to be honest, when he came into bat, there's a classic thing about Kohli is he will start very slow.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, bloody hell, like, do something, like he's like he could be like, I don't know, maybe like a quick 13 off, I say quick, sorry, I mean 13 runs off like maybe 28 balls or something, and then all of a sudden, even that innings yesterday, he went from that to 117 or 113 balls. So, he does pick up the pace.
Yeah, and I mean,
and he was well supported though as well. Shreyas Iyer batted again a great 100 from 100 Iyer. He was supported by that, and then Rahul played a great knock.
Came in at the end.
Some really good knocks.
No, I mean, India's batting has always obviously been their strength. Obviously now they seem to be a complete team.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. I mean,
As a mammoth total as well.
It
was humongous.
Considering, obviously, we'll come to it, but considering where South Africa and Australia have been kind of with their batting, it's hard to see. For me personally, it's hard to see who's going to be able to, whether Australia is going to be able to, get past them. But
I don't think I can predict this anymore.
It'll be very interesting. But,
I'm looking forward to the final.
Yeah, no, the thing is, regardless of everything,
we love the game, so
I think
it'll be a mouth-watering final.
Yeah, good game. And then let's not forget, obviously, India's bowling with Shami 7.
Mate, again, do you remember? Because we were watching the second innings together, and I think it was just when India had won, and you said to me,
I said to you, has he got a five for?
And you were like, no. And
I said, hang on a minute, bro. Let me go back.
Let me check.
And it was like going on in the background a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Barjan, he's 7. It's got 7. It's not 5. Yeah, nah, that's.
To be fair, he bowled really well.
Yeah. He was a difference maker, innit? Like, obviously,
he was
a little bit. New Zealand looked like they might, do something.
Yeah, and let's not take credit away from New Zealand as well, because New Zealand actually, they started off a bit like, oh, here we go, it's a famous collapse coming up, from a big game, the pressure's on. But then Daryl Mitchell, Williamson, that partnership between them two.
Yeah, he tried to hang in there, didn't he? Yeah.
I was like, wow, you know what? If these two can just keep going a little bit, you just never know.
Yeah.
But then I think as soon as Williamson got out, the collapse started, and I think Mitchell got another little partnership going. But then after that,
they hung in there, but then the run rate was going down. Yeah. And the thing is, like, obviously,
they lost 2 quick wickets.
Yeah, and
because Latham got out straight away as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, you talk about the toss. I mean, the toss was important in this one.
Very important.
Obviously, in the second half, under the lights, the ball was doing some stuff.
So this is the thing, and again, you guys that are, if you're watching it, I mean, the ball under the lights, it was moving and turning, and it was just singing songs.
Everything was working for them, innit? Because they talked about obviously the green pitch and all this, that, and the other.
Well, it was a dusty pitch.
For everyone.
Yeah, but to be fair, it was a dry pitch. Again, controversial as you want to call it, but they used a used pitch, which goes against the agreement that was made.
Yeah, ICC wasn't happy
and all that. But to be fair, who's going to say anything?
Well, I mean, they won, right? It's done.
But I'm just saying, even then,
nothing's going to happen.
Who's going to challenge the BCCI?
Well, even if it happens, it's not going to change the result.
Exactly.
Right? And they didn't stop it happening because they knew before the game that was happening. So
yeah, they had enough notice.
Yeah, they had time to do something. Yeah. So anyway, that's history, and India's through. Like I say, I can't see Australia stopping them. I couldn't see anyone stopping them before, but now.
So I had a feeling South Africa would be the only team that could potentially stop them.
That was my kind of, not that I am impartial now, going forward, but I did, South Africa being, and let's move on to that game now. I think South Africa being, known as the chokers and this and that, I really hoped, looking at the way they've been performing this World Cup, that this was their time. And it looked like they were like dominating, and they looked strong. 100%. So there was the 2 teams, between them, they look like the ones. And then, like I said, moving on to the South Africa game, they batted first, and I was like, oh, okay. And then, like I say, by the time I kind of got my wits about me, they were 4 down.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like watching the first 10 overs, and I was shell shocked because they obviously won the toss. They knew the weather could potentially play a part because there was some rain in the air, and there'd been raining prior to the game. Obviously, then there was a stoppage, but again, that ball, the Aussies were moving it like no tomorrow. When Stark came on, and Josh Hazelwood, wow, he bowled an outstanding spell, the first spell, and obviously Stark, and the SA batsmen just looked baffled. They were playing a weird game.
Because they kind of, 100%.
Because, like, whenever South Africa's batted first throughout the World Cup, they've either got you 400 or something nearabouts, so
a big total.
So, I mean, Bavuma straight away.
Yes.
Then De Kock, and mind you, it was De Kock's last game, so it's been his last outing, unless obviously they'd got through. So, Klaasen, he tried. He played some good shots.
Yeah.
Couldn't stick around.
Yeah, and then what was interesting, I think, I mean, you know, to see South Africa like fight back a little bit in the bowling. There was a moment there where I thought, okay, hang on, you know, they might once again, so similar to where New Zealand with India, like it was like, oh, could they? But nah, it's you know.
But I'll go back to their batting. I mean, Miller, that was a really, really, really valiant 100.
Yeah, brought them back into the
game.
Brought them
back into the game.
Point,
he just needed someone to stick around with him. Unfortunately, that wasn't to be. He had a little partnership going with, I think it was, is it Kotsi? I'm not sure how they pronounce his name. But yeah, I mean, they had a little partnership going. But again, no one could stick around. I think was it Rabada and Maharaj came in and they tried to, whack a few. But to be honest, that score was never going to be enough. But
yeah,
they came out fighting.
No, 100%. But this is the thing, and I always have flashbacks of Dubai. When regardless of how many wickets they lose, Australia is still dangerous.
That's the thing.
I know all teams bat all the way down deep, and all that, but like Australia have this resilience, which I don't know if any other team does. Where even at the low, they don't get out, and they'll just stick in there. And as long as they're in there, they're in the game.
They're in the game.
And the runs to balls were like always in their favour.
Yeah. I mean, mind you. Towards the end, they kind of took it. Was it 16 balls spare? So they took the game deep anyway. It got
to the end, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, thing is, Warner didn't fire, Maxwell didn't fire. Smith sort of stayed in for a bit. So like they didn't have. Travis Head got some runs, but
yeah, Head was like obviously the man of the match when But yeah. I mean, you look, Australia through now. So India, Australia for the final. You could say it's one of cricket's big rivalries now.
It is, isn't it? It's. I think weirdly enough, it kind of on par or maybe pushes the India-Pakistan rivalry a little bit.
I mean, I've heard, especially Indian
they think
fans say that Pakistan is out the way, and now that is their big rival. Obviously, that was more prevalent when Australia was at its might as well.
But the thing is, Awesome, you've got to remember, the Aussies have peaked late.
Yeah, they have.
And
yeah, they've come to form, yeah.
And the Aussies are known for world champions.
Yeah,
not once, not twice.
Look at the when they played New Zealand in the final, and New Zealand had been similar to South Africa, to be honest.
One-sided affair, wasn't it?
And then when they came to the final, I mean, this is the problem, isn't it? It's like you just don't know what that pressure is going to do to you. And the thing is, India's got all the pressure in the world on them. They've got the fans, they've got this,
but they've also got all the support.
They've also got the support. No, yeah, but the expectation is what I'm talking about. That
the thing is,
that can be crippling.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think it will be. I'll be honest with you, and I've said it from early on in the tournament that I'm scared. Like, these guys look serious monsters on these pitches, and the way they played, and it's the fact that they've got the complete balance for me. Like I say, Australia have got strong players, they've got strengths here, but they're not what India has displayed. I haven't seen that for a long time. I mean, Australia, it just reminds me of the old Australia, the 90s and the early 2000s, where Australia would just, you couldn't see a weakness.
Dominant.
Yeah. But, let's see. You never know. But we'll be
watching. Man. I mean, it's a hard one to predict, isn't it? Because, like you said, like India's untouchable. If you think, right? Aussies are peaking late. Can they hold their own?
Yeah.
It's going to be another 138,000, 34,000 packed crowd.
Yeah.
And Kohli is like in outstanding form right now. Rohit Sharma is looking great. All of a sudden, Shreyas Iyer is scoring hundreds for fun.
Yeah, don't forget Gill.
Again, amazing. That game, Gill got injured, didn't he? So he went off.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he had 100.
Yeah, still was it?
100 was on.
Yeah.
He got 80 or 60 odd.
Yeah, like you say, if he carried on.
He had carried on. So yeah, I don't know, mate. It's gonna be. I can't predict this one. And normally I'm like, I'll give it something.
Yeah.
Nah, I can't predict this one. I'm not sure.
I'm going India, but let's keep it moving, bro. So on to focusing on to Pakistan, as we predicted. and as was obviously viciously rumored throughout the World Cup, unfortunate news came through. The changes have begun. The cuts have begun.
I told you, didn't I, long time ago, throughout in the beginning of the tournament, when Pakistan started sort of not, they were struggling a little, and I said to you, no matter what happens, even if Pakistan get through to the semis or somehow got through to the finals, I don't know, Babar, it will be chopped. And
I think the only thing that would have saved him, bro, is winning. And I think that would have been then down to him whether he wants to stay, whether he wants to keep the helm. And I think what's interesting in the whole debacle, I mean, let's be clear. Obviously, we're talking about Babar losing the captaincy, and that's happened now. Let's be clear that the writing has been on the wall for a little while in terms of the pressure has been on him in that respect. This dialogue has been going on through the Asia Cup, even prior to the Asia Cup, I think. And I think us being number one ODI team coming into the competition put the brakes on a little bit. So that's why I always thought, okay, you know what? If he now shows up on the big stage and we go and show, obviously if we perform, say, even a little bit better than we did, then we would have had a bit of momentum earlier on and whatnot. It could have been a different tournament. It's tough now to watch. I think you found it especially hard, being I was probably the Babar super fan out of two of us. I mean, I love him too.
Yeah. I think
there's levels to it.
Obviously, for me, I was quite emotional. To be fair, I was, no jokes. I was crying because it's the way things happened.
I mean, when you rolled up, I think I sent you the video. Like I said, when you arrived in Lahore, and there were a few, headlines or little things coming out, little videos coming out where it was like, okay, he's staying. And even I thought, when I sent it to you, I thought, okay, this will cheer you up, that maybe he's gonna stay. But
because I heard mixed rumors, and again how are things being leaked? It's just
it's crazy.
It's crazy. First thing I heard was they will retain him, but there will be other changes, and then all of a sudden you hear that he has stepped down. Now, I don't believe that personally.
I mean, this is the PCB statement, where they're saying that essentially he was asked to step down from T20. He was offered to stay on as Test captain,
he said
and he decided not to. And obviously, like I said to you as well, Ramiz has apparently said that he knew the writing was on the wall, and he'd already decided he doesn't want to be captain anymore. I mean, his statement itself came out afterwards, and I find it hard to believe that had this not been kind of put on him, that he would have made this choice himself.
So I believe that the media mafia, they're behind a lot of this, in terms of they put pressure because they're constantly, no matter what happens, Babar's to blame. Yeah, and it's weird. Like, your bowlers are not doing well, let's blame Babar.
But don't you think this is? The media mafia is not a new thing.
No, it's not a new thing.
Because remember, I'm talking recent history, but like Sefi.
Yeah, but they've done the same to him.
Yeah,
it was a 2019 World Cup.
One of the most successful captains. Absolutely. All that stuff. He had all those stats behind him as well. Great performances, saved us a few times. Took us to Champions Trophy victory. And then it was like, well, look at him. He's not performing. He's not what he should be. He shouldn't be wicketkeeper. He shouldn't be this. And then now look at him.
They were awesome. There was but I'm saying, you'd think we'd learn from that.
Well, we do. They don't, innit?
But they don't. So, then, all of a sudden, you've got ex-cricketers sitting there. They're really gunning for him.
Ex-cricketers who played under him, with him.
Yes.
You'd think there'd be some level of camaraderie or some kind of
level
loyalty,
of respect, maybe?
Yeah, respect and loyalty that should be there for someone like this, who is obviously one of our greatest players of all time. Already.
And this is the thing, like, Pakistan will never ever produce another like Babar.
Yeah, I mean, he's a once in a lifetime talent.
He is, and
we've been waiting for this guy.
Yeah,
a batsman who we can say
exactly.
and say, look, stability and class and just the ability to play textbook cricket. The cricket that Viv Richards, the greats are saying that he's the guy that
and
they watch and they love to
watch him. So when you think about it, I don't care what people think. I don't really care what the media say, but you will go by people that were legends themselves. And when they're saying to you that they see this amazing talent, this amazing class and whatnot, then who are me and you to make a call on what should happen to him or what he should be like and whatnot? Ultimately,
well, obviously, Imad and Muhammad
this is the
Ahmed
thing. So
and
I've been
Razak.
watching a lot of Pakistani news and the sports coverage and all that. And if I'm gonna be brutally honest here, they're all a bunch of clowns, right? Because they're sitting there and just for a bit of TRP or for a bit of their own, how can we sort of get in there sort of thing. They're absolutely dissing this guy.
But they're bitter as well.
They're very bitter
because Amr still thinks he should be in the team.
Yeah, but Amr just
they talk about in that. I can't remember the name of the show now, or whatever it is, but Hanam now. But he talks about what's it called? They talk about Imad as if he's still like a prospect, and these guys have had their chance. I know some of those kind of players are still in the mix from that time, but those guys have earned their way and kept that respect and what that it takes to be represent your country. But these guys are just obviously, like you say, they just want to do it for the controversy. They just want to do it to.
Yeah, but look what they've done. I'm sorry,
it's an agenda, isn't it?
These guys have played a part in people getting wound up and people getting a certain feeling towards Babar, and he's been pushed out. Asim, even if he's turned around and said, you know what, I'm stepping down. Why? And they were doing all of this during a tournament that started off in Asia Cup, then the World Cup. Obviously, no matter what we do, ultimately we're all humans. Babar is human, Imad is human, everyone's human. And actually, I say Imad's human. I'm not sure about that, but the fact that it's going to play on his mind.
Well, right? that was Ramiz's point.
In the middle of a
why
tournament.
Are you doing it in the middle of a tournament? And you're putting that into your captain's mind, and you're having that dialogue openly during, like you say, during a World Cup where we should be backing the team. We're back the pack for a reason, right? But we shouldn't be the only ones. You know what I'm saying? There's so many critics. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not just on TV. It's everywhere. Isn't it? It's like the public say the same things. I mean, there is support there. Don't get me wrong. There is support there, and it's nice to see that within all this noise, there are the supporters. There are the people that are saying that, look, he is what he is, and he is revered for what he is. And look, inshallah, going forward now as a player, I mean, I'm not buying into this dialogue of what you're saying about this Imad and Amr, like dialogue of should he be in the T20. Look,
who are they to say?
But forget that, bro. There's no way you can look at the numbers and the stats and everything and say that he doesn't deserve a place on the team, right? That's crazy. And the whole idea of this
bitterness at a different level.
The whole idea of this change should come from that. Okay, we're taking the burden of captaincy away from him, and like I say, it's not the first time that's happened to a captain. Kohli's a great example, and inshallah he goes forward, and now we see him at his best. Hopefully, as soon as possible.
I think he, inshallah, Allah willing, you'll see a run fest from him. That's what I want now, because you know what, the only way he can, shut these people up is by scoring runs and breaking some records and stuff. It's just sad. Again, maybe because I'm a super fan of Babar Azam, but for me, it's just the way things are done, and just it's Pakistan cricket, and let's be honest, Pakistan as a nation in general.
In a nutshell. And also, let's not forget to comment, obviously, on the management change as well. Obviously, so we've seen, was it today or recently, that Hafiz has been named?
So Hafiz, who was named as the director of cricket for Pakistan, who obviously that means that he replaces Mickey Arthur, who, by the way, has not been sacked.
No, surprisingly.
So this is really weird. So, as in, I'm not saying sack him, but I'm just saying it's weird that Mickey Arthur and Grant Bradburn they are still in contract with the PCB, and they've been told to sort of go to the National Academy and focus on that. So they're not going to have any part.
Demoted, so to speak.
It's really weird, isn't
like
it?
a weird demoted. I mean, I think there's part of it. Like I've heard a lot of the dialogue around this. Obviously, a lot of talk around this because they were sort of looking at Mickey Arthur's. And I think I saw in the pavilion where Mickey Arthur they were talking about. He's been unsuccessful in the county circuit. He's been unsuccessful with Sri Lanka. He's been unsuccessful with in the is it the PSL or
Karachi,
or wherever he's gone. Basically, he's been unsuccessful, and that why are we bringing him in? But we haven't got rid of him. He's obviously still got some popularity or whatnot in the behind the scenes.
But what people don't understand, and I'm talking about the Awam, is he was never our coach. He was director of cricket. Not that I know what that means, by the way, because
it's like
this ain't director of cricket in England where you've got Rob Key. That's a different standard of the position. But they've been pushed to National Academy. Mohammad Hafiz is now the director of cricket. That just came out of the blue, by the way, considering he stepped down just prior to the World Cup. So again, I just don't get it. And then Mohammad Hafiz is now also the head coach of Pakistan for the Australia tour. It's like, you know what? Today, chal, aaj aap jao, aaj aap coaching karo. कल आप वापस आ जाना डायरेक्शन कर लेना.
But there's a lot of that
समझ नहीं आती ना. I don't get it. I don't understand. Where is this going?
It's not easy to work out what the vision of the image is.
Umar Gul, bowling coach.
So I was going to say, so obviously Moni Morkel's gone. I think he may have stepped down himself.
He has. He's saying due to commitment. Listen,
obviously that's
Moni, you've done a good job. You were not the one delivering the ball. You were a good player yourself. Ultimately, and I said the same thing when people were blaming Babar for the poor bowling. Babar ne haath nahi pakda.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? He wasn't holding their hands and saying, "Acha, now bowl like this. Acha, now don't do this." Come on, Again, even with the batsmen, he wasn't holding their bats and playing the shots. So what I'm saying is, Morne Morkel's gone fine. He's stepped down himself, and then they've got in Umar Gul as your bowling coach. And I'm hearing,
yes, hot off the press, wasn't it?
Hot off the press, that obviously we know about Shaheen's taken over the T20 captaincy, and I'll come back to that.
Well, I was going to say we'll come to that.
And then Shah Masood is obviously Test captain. Again, that's a big question mark for me. But I'm hearing that Saud Shakil is now our Test vice captain.
Vice captain,
Which, I've said this before. Vice captaincy.
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
But so there was another one. What was the other one that you just brought up just before we went on camera?
Chief selector of Pakistan cricket, Mr. Wahab Riaz.
Apparently. But that is, I mean, listen.
Do you know something, right? So far, all these people that had these immediate Cobra meetings with Zaka Ashraf, have now slowly secured,
wriggled their way in,
little role. So Wahab, boom. Hafiz, boom. Gul, wicked. Who was left in that group? So Hilton Wee's left. So I don't know what he'll be like. Maybe a chef or something.
He's busy doing commentary and making comments as well.
Yeah. So these guys have got something.
But listen, what I want to so obviously we mentioned in passing, but let's focus on this now just before we wrap up. So Shaheen is in T20 captain. Shan Masood is in Test captain. To me, and I've mentioned this before when we were talking about Shaheen coming in as a captain and the rumours were flying around during the World Cup. But for me, the only worry I have now is the lack of experience that we're kind of now throwing in. Because I'm happy to see the youth get a chance. And I'm happy to see, look, Shaheen, we've said many times as a bowler, future of Pakistan. He's the poster boy at the moment. And rightly so, he's had the performances and whatnot to back them in the past. But we talked about putting pressure on Babar and all this and that and the other and removing that pressure. And now we're putting it straight onto inexperienced captains in terms of like on the international scene.
International scene, yes, but Shaheen, give him credit.
Yeah.
He's taken Lahore Qalandars
to
two back-to-back
aside.
PSL titles,
Yeah,
and he was good.
Yeah,
right. So I think they have based it on that,
okay,
which is fine. But obviously, there's controversy around the whole lobbying and the Afridis are sort of taking over, and that his father-in-law has put a little.
Even with Sean Masood, I don't know if you saw, but I was watching this yesterday on once again Pakistani coverage on the TV, and they were saying that his father is involved in there somewhere. Because of that. But Azhar Ali did try. Azhar Ali was on that show and he was backing him, saying, "No, it's done on merit and this and that." Yeah, but then you showed me the figures.
I sent you some stuff. Run through that stuff I sent you today.
So the figures.
There was some. So look. So if you look, mate, I'll read it out to you. So Sean Masood, I mean, mind that picture, which is quite hilarious. He's played 30 Test matches, 56 innings. He has runs 1,500 runs, roughly.
Yeah, highest score 156.
Highest score 156, fine.
Good.
Average of 28. Yeah. ODIs, he's not great, and T20s he's actually not too bad.
Yeah,
I mean any 30 is good enough. But Test cricket.
But he's the Test captain, so yeah.
And he hasn't played for a while, so they dropped him from a few of the tests. I think it was against England and stuff because he wasn't performing. And then all of a sudden he's your Test captain, and I'm just like,
I mean, listen, this is what I'm saying, and I think we were discussing this before. I think you agree with me. Is it's a big risk to be taken. We're going for a run of T20s. I mean, obviously, we haven't pointed out the fact that there's no ODI captain because we're not playing.
We're not playing in the ODIs for you, which
makes so much sense, right? Because we don't need the practice.
I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I'm saying because we need to develop these players.
Why are we not
the Champions Trophy in 2 years' time?
Why haven't we got
Pakistan?
ODIs?
But anyway, maybe we'll rely on first class cricket. I don't know. There's a lot of talk about obviously the development and whatnot of players. That's a discussion for another day, I guess. But yeah, focusing on these selections, like I say, it's just a lot of inexperience and a lot of raw talent that you're pushing into the limelight. Are we potentially going for the same problem? Because essentially, come end of the Australia Test, say for example, or a few series down the line, could we now be looking at another captain because they didn't perform? I mean, like hopefully these guys will come through, and I want nothing more than their success. But do the figures add up?
Thing is, I read something yesterday where they said about the Test captaincy. Pakistan could potentially be Australia first Test. They could potentially be 700 for 1 in their first innings, and I was like, oh my god, what is going on? I mean, no one's happy with anything, are they? Like you give him captaincy, they'll pull some skeletons out of the grave and be like, "Acha, this is what he's done. This is what he's not done." You give him captaincy, so it's like, how do you please? But I don't know. For me, I don't know if the right decisions have been made, but that's a personal opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, with Shaheen Shah, look, T20 captain, I don't think it's a bad shout, to be honest. He's captained, like I said, the Lahore Qalandars and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. Allah knows best.
Yeah.
Listen, no matter what happens, we always back the pack.
And
we they're representing the
also,
nation.
like I said, yeah, exactly. And we want to see them do well. Inshallah, the changes work. But look, we do have time. Look, main thing is the T20 at the moment. We do need to focus on T20, and we are focusing on the T20 as it looks like.
And that's the thing. So I get it. Like, obviously, we haven't got ODIs because it's a T20 year now, the World Cup wise. They can still, man, like other teams.
No, everyone will have some ODIs.
Yeah, we got nothing
to keep the practice and keep the formats.
And I don't know who to blame for the FTPs. Do you blame ICC? Who runs it? Is it BCCI? I don't know.
It's a combination, isn't it? But
I really don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, we're looking forward. Yeah, I mean, Pakistan-wise, we'll be back with some more coverage and some more.
We got some stuff.
Yeah, follow up to this because obviously this is not the end of the story, I'm sure.
Before we go,
yeah, go on.
Did you see the comment made by Abdul Razak?
Ishwarya?
Yeah. I'm laughing not because I find it funny. I'm laughing because I find it pathetic.
I mean,
and that shows the education.
It shows the class of the man.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It's a shame. Always
Disgusting.
loved him as a player.
I think it's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. It just shows, and what worries me further is I think when we were watching the clip before we went on camera, it's just everyone at the time was laughing and joking and.
I mean, first of all, I don't understand the whole thing about having a gala dinner or press conference for the 2009 World Cup. I don't understand what was the anniversary, what was the occasion. But anyway, that's a different story. And then these guys are sitting there. They're people that we look up to, right, as fans.
I mean, like I say, even Razak, we've always, as a player, he was phenomenal for us, and he had the performances and he had the reputation for a reason. But then to be making these type of comments and this and that in the public sphere, thinking that it's all a joke and we can just say what we want about people.
But the funny bit was, he said that you got Shahid Afridi next to him clapping, Ajmal and all sorts, and they're clapping. Shahid Afridi's clapping anyway.
Yeah.
And he's laughing, and I'm thinking, are you for real? Right? And then he's then come out straight after. Literally, he's got home. Obviously, it's
seen the reaction.
Kicked off the reaction. Yeah. He's then given an interview straight away to the media. They've interviewed him online, whatever, and he's given it. कि मैं घर अभी आया हूँ तो मुझे किसी ने क्लिप भेजी है.
But he's claiming that he's had a slip of the tongue, essentially. Yeah, I can't remember how he said it in Urdu, but he said basically saying it's a slip of the tongue. But what slip of the tongue? You meant what you said. You're trying to be bantering with your fellows, which is fine, I guess, maybe not in a public sphere if you're making jokes with your boys or whatever. But are you mad? You're going to do this in a public, while you're representing,
you're representing a country
and all that. You're going to say this type of nonsense.
We're under enough pressure and enough headaches as it is. But then he goes, he didn't realize what had happened until someone sent him a clip. And then he's realized, and he goes, then he's like, मैं अभी रज़ाक को text करने वाला हूँ. And I'm like, what is going on? What are you talking about? I just don't get it. And then Razak's given a public apology.
Rightly so.
It's just, I just don't get it, mate. The Asia Cup wasn't bad enough. The World Cup wasn't bad enough. The Babar and all this stuff and the captaincy ain't bad enough. Then you got these Muppets on TV live, and they're talking about, a married woman from a well-established and well-respected family, which has got nothing to do with the cricket.
He's just trying
but I think there was no comparison.
No, but they're just trying to, bring the spotlight on them. They thought I think he thought that this will get me some little airtime and that, and it did.
Well, it has,
but in the wrong light. And he didn't see that coming, obviously, because that just shows, like I say, the class and where his mind is. But anyway, bro, like I say, we've covered that, and then unfortunately, that is also part of the media news now, further bringing us into disrepute, I guess. But no. Listen.
And then you wonder why our neighbours don't like us. Or our neighbours have stuff to say. They don't want to pay and whatnot. We're not doing justice.
We're not doing any favours.
We're not.
But listen, bro. Moving on. We've got the final ahead. Hopefully, we'll get maybe a little bit of live streaming and whatnot during that.
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Together.
Yeah.
Looking forward to a good game. Like I say, I'm back in. Weird use of term, but I'm not back in India because I backed the pack, but I am predicting India to win.
Back them, man.
Yeah. No, I back them, but not not like Pakistan. That's what I'm trying to clarify.
Look,
back the pack. Back the Bharat is there. I'm sure someone will follow up.
We come from a multicultural family.
No, 100%. No.
Our friends and family members are multicultural. We watch and follow every cricket and whatnot.
So just to wrap up, guys, like I say, I'm thinking India's going to win this one. Umar, still not sure?
I'm not sure, honestly. And it's not because I don't think India can win it, because let's be honest, I think they will.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, you just never know.
Yeah.
Aussies, I don't know.
Yeah, no, fair enough, bro. But no, we'll be with you as always. We'll try and get a podcast out as soon as we can after the game.
Yeah.
Like I say, we'll try and live stream if we can and kind of get some interaction with you guys as well. So as
I'd like
always,
to get some Indian fans' thoughts.
Yeah, no, 100%. We'll try. Yeah, we'll try.
Guys, if you've got
if
some
you can try and
questions,
engage with us, that'd be great.
fire them up.
Get in the comments and all that as always. Like, subscribe, comment, like I say. And yeah, guys, please follow us and just stay with us for that final episode.
But I do wish Virat Kohli gets 1 more 100.
Yeah, why not?
I'd love to see Kohli.
Why not in a final? Beautiful.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
That's it.
Honestly, it'd be awesome. Even Sharma.
But yeah, we'll be with you guys then. But as always, we'll be bringing you the Pakistan updates as well. So as always, back the pack.
Always back the pack, guys.